What is going on, guys? Matt Downs with Daily Grind Fantasy Sports to help give you the edge for this NBA 7-game slate. Cannot wait to break it down. If you guys are brand new to this channel, we provide both free and paid content for all daily fantasy sports across all sports. If you could please show your support by hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, and of course smashing that like button for all of our future NBA content. If you would like to know more about becoming a better DFS player and taking down that big GPP, head over to www.patreon.com/DGFantasy for more information. If you guys want to be entered into the $25 giveaway that we do every single Friday, please like, subscribe, and also comment your favorite GPP play on this slate. This video is officially sponsored by Jock Market. On Patreon, we give advanced cheat sheets for all DFS sports on DraftKings. These cheat sheets include updated projections, ownership, and our overall favorite plays from slate to slate. We take it a step further by teaching you how to play fantasy sports like a shark, by showing you where the best leverage spots are to put you in the best spots to take down tourneys. Also included is our private Discord chat where you get to talk over the slate with everyone, including our coaches, to help build your lineups. Now let's go ahead and dive right into this NBA 7-game slate, and first we have to go over some Patreon success. We had a $20,000 winner last night from NBA. Absolutely amazing. Filled in a lot of our favorite GPP plays and took our advice on stacking that Denver-Milwaukee game. I said if that game was going to be competitive, well, everybody's going to smash value, and that's exactly what happened. Jokic put up 62 points. Chris Middleton I had in my own single entry lineup. Absolutely amazing success here all the way around. This is actually a third place finish. Almost got first place. He actually bounced in and out of first to third place within the last couple minutes. So definitely love the success story here from one of our Patreon members. That's not the only one. We had another small takedown here. $125 winner, $69 into $159, $26 into $147. And then $148 turned into $530. You guys can join Patreon again for $20 a month to get you access to all of our favorite leverage spots, GPP plays, and cash plays for only $20 a month for every single sport. Now let's go ahead and dive right into the slate. We have a lot of pending injury news right now and also some solidified injury news. So we'll go ahead and start here with Brooklyn. We have Claxton, Durant officially out, and Shumpert. We'll touch base on Brooklyn here in just a second. With Detroit, we have Killian Hayes and Okafor out. With Houston, we have Oladipo sitting out the back-to-back. We have Exum and also Christian Wood out for them. With Miami, not too much going on. Dragic is out, though. Golden State, we still have the big men out for them with Looney and Wiseman. With San Antonio, it looks like Aldridge will play tonight. Lonnie Walker is questionable, and Derek White is out. We will pay a visit to them as well. With Orlando, this is the one team that I'm honing in on as of right now. We have Aminu, Michael Carter-Williams, Evan Fournier, and also Aaron Gordon out for these guys. With Portland, the same injuries there. With Sacramento, not too much going on there. With Boston, Jaylen Brown is pending injury news. He is questionable technically. If he is held out, we will pay a visit there. And then with Utah, we have Mike Conley out for them as well. So let's switch over to the main slate here. We're going to go over the Brooklyn-Detroit game here first. With Kevin Durant off the court, Kyrie Irving averages the highest usage rate on the team with 33.4% usage and a 1.41 fantasy point per minute output. James Harden averaging 1.44 fantasy points per minute. So they're kind of the exact same person when Kevin Durant is off the court. Ever since James Harden has been traded to these guys, James Harden hasn't seemed like the same player we were used to seeing in Houston. So I have seen Kyrie Irving actually taking a lot more shots here once he's been inserted into the starting role here, playing alongside these other two superstars. Because of that, I'm going to prefer him. At $9,300, he's a 5.5 point per dollar value. Still not in love with him. $9,300 is just expensive in general. James Harden is definitely more of a GPP option. He's actually showing higher ownership right now than Kyrie Irving. So I do think both of these guys are cash viable. You just take a usage monster like Kevin Durant off, and one of these guys has to step up to produce some points here. So I do like either one of these guys. All the other guys are just GPP options. Not too much interest here. This is going to be a pace down spot for Detroit. I know they're expected to score 120 points, but believe it or not, that is a pace down spot here versus a very low pace Detroit team. However, on the flip side here, one of my favorite options on the entire slate is going to be Jeremy Grant. $7,000 is just cheap in general for this guy, but when you throw Brooklyn without playing any defense whatsoever into the fold here, I absolutely love Jeremy Grant at projected at 35 minutes, projected at 29.4% ownership. He's definitely a cash viable option for me. Probably the most obvious cash lock on the slate other than Vucevic tonight. All the other options are going to be GPP options for me. Blake Griffin here at 5K does pass the eye eye test is relatively cheap. Delon Wright, also not that bad of an option here at 6K, 32 minutes. But the one guy that I'm going to be very confident on in this contest is going to be Jeremy Grant at $7,000. Switching down the line here, we have the Knicks. Not too much going on here. This is going to be a very low-paced contest. Probably my favorite option is going to be Mitchell Robinson, just because he's so darn cheap. I do like him here. Projected in 30 minutes, but just a GPP option for me. All these New York Knicks are going to be GPP options for me across the board. Going over to Miami, Jimmy Butler has been killing it as of late. He hasn't got under his value in the past 7 contests. So I do like him here at 5.5 point per dollar value. With Dragic off the court, he does get a slight boost in usage as well. So I do like him. I know it's a pace down spot, but $8,300 at 9% ownership. Don't hate him. Another good option is going to be Bam Adebayo here. $8,700 does draw a very good matchup. Projected in 34 minutes, also a 5 point per dollar value. So I do like all these. I do like those two superstars for the Miami Heat, specifically for GPPs. Also, that is the lowest over-under on the entire slate by far. It's only a 207.5. Going down the line here to Houston, everybody's going to be mad about DeMarcus Cousins here at 5.8 point per dollar value. He was that exact same point per dollar value for us last night, but he did chalk bust. Only played 25 minutes. I wouldn't let that get into your head too much. Right now, he's averaging 1.42 fantasy points with all of these guys off the court, a 22.8% usage. Ownership rather. He is definitely cash viable. I don't think he's a cash lock. I had that similar type of take last night. The price tag is very, very high for him, but he does get a higher usage boost with Oladipo off the court, believe it or not, than John Wall, probably because they like to run pick and rolls here. So I do like DeMarcus Cousins, still 22% ownership. He's definitely going to be cash viable. John Wall, also not that bad of an option at 18.3% ownership. If we take these guys off the court, John Wall does average 1.25 fantasy points per minute and also does have the highest usage rate on the team. Also, another guy to hone in on is going to be Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon averages 1.06 fantasy points per minute with these guys off the court, a 32-minute projection, and a 5.5 point per dollar value. And switching over to the Pelicans, not too much going on here. Going to be all GPP options for me. Brandon Ingram did get a price increase at $8,500. Zion Williamson also got a price increase, $8,200 right now. All these guys are just going to be GPP options. It is a favorable matchup, but all these price tags are just way too expensive. And now we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Jock Market is one of the most innovative ways to play daily fantasy sports today. Just like the real stock market, Jock Market allows you to buy and sell players to earn profit based on their performances throughout the day and night. They are currently offering a variety of sports where you can enter their markets and buy them for potential gains. Unlike normal other DFS sites, once the slate starts, you can make numerous changes to your stocks by buying new players you think will continue to perform well or sell players you think are going to underperform.
Right now, they are running every sport with overlay, which gives you an easier chance to win than other major DFS platforms. Download Jock Market now on the App Store and use code DGF to receive a $20 deposit bonus. Be sure to subscribe here for all future Jock Market content. Going down to the Golden State Warriors versus San Antonio Spurs. Right now, we are without the big men, and that does give a slight increase here to Steph Curry. Steph Curry is actually the best point per dollar value here on this team, a 5.4 point per dollar value. He's averaging 1.56 fantasy points per minute without Wiseman on the court, so I do like him for GPPs. Draymond Green also gets a nice little boost here. Just a GPP option, though, for me. $6,900, very expensive for him, and a 5.3 point per dollar value. Same thing with Kelly Oubre. These guys are going to be in a pace-up matchup versus the Spurs, so I don't hate them, but I do like them here for just GPPs. Switching over to the San Antonio Spurs, nothing going on here. Unfortunately, we've been riding the DeMar DeRozan train the past couple days. However, that train's going to come to a stop here just because these guys are back. If Lonnie Walker is held out, then yes, I'm going to have more interest in these guys, but right now, DeMar DeRozan is too expensive here, only averaging 1.12 fantasy points per minute with these current guys off the floor. If you take Lonnie Walker off the floor, that actually goes up to 1.34 fantasy points per minute, which is actually a substantial boost. DeJounte Murray's actually showing very high ownership at $6,500 just because he got that price decrease. Does pass the eye test. 30.9% ownership. If Lonnie Walker does play, he's projected to play 27 minutes. He's only $3,600, so I do like him here in this pace-up matchup. If he does play, he's going to be chalky. That's just weird to say. So I do like DeJounte Murray and Lonnie Walker for cash. Going down to Boston, we are still pinning that Jaylen Brown news. If he is held out, yes, that gives a substantial boost to guys like Kemba Walker, gives a boost to guys like Jason Tatum. However, this is a bad matchup for them. This is going to be a pace down spot here for Boston. Therefore, I'm not going to be as high on these guys, even if Jaylen Brown is held out. But I do like them for GPPs. As you can see, Jason Tatum's at 2.5% ownership. That is criminal. Kemba Walker's at 11.9% ownership. Just because of the pace of this game, all these guys are going to be GPP options for me. Going over to Utah, Conley is still out, and Joe Ingles was a bit of an underperformer last game. I do like his price tag still at $5,800. Does easily hit value, assuming that he does get that 1 fantasy point per minute output that he's expected to get. So I do like him here. Rudy Gobert, also not that bad of an option here, showing very low ownership. I think he's more of a GPP option, but going against Daniel Tice, I see no reason why he shouldn't hit that $7,200 price tag. So I do like him for GPPs. Him, Donovan Mitchell, $8,100. These guys are going to be more GPP options just because of the pace of the game, which I alluded to. And Jordan Clarkson does benefit minute-wise, projected at almost 30 minutes. I do like him at 6K. Definitely is cash viable, but more so for GPP for everybody on this team. Going down the list, Orlando is a team that we're going to want to hone in on as we take a look at their injury report here. They are without Aminu, Michael Carter-Williams, Fournier, and Aaron Gordon. With those guys off the court, Vucevic is averaging 1.49 fantasy points per minute, has a 35% usage rate, which is by far the highest on the team. Cole Anthony next on the list here, averaging 0.96 fantasy points per minute and a 28% usage. So I absolutely love those two guys here for the Orlando Magic. They are showing a 6 point per dollar value, and Cole Anthony is showing a 5.2 point per dollar value. Just because of his ownership, he's going to be more of a GPP option, but Ennis is also a very good value play at $3,700 projected in 29 minutes. So I do like these guys. I like to load up on them, and this is going to be a slight pace-up spot for the Orlando Magic against Portland, because we know Portland doesn't play much defense, but Vucevic is by far one of my favorite cash options on the entire slate, next to Jeremy Grant. Absolutely love him at $8,900. But other than that, everybody else is going to be more of a GPP option for me. Going down to Portland, not too much going on here. These price tags are a little too expensive. Damian Lillard's always in the picture here as being a good GPP option at 10K with all these guys off the court. He does benefit usage-wise and fantasy point per minute-wise. I don't mind him, but again, all GPP options for me from the Portland Trail Blazers. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the Sacramento Kings and Philly 76ers. All these guys are going to be GPP options for me. We know that Sacramento does play absolutely no defense whatsoever. They are the second highest over-under on the slate. Take shooters in this game. I really do like Danny Green at $3,800. Definitely makes for a good ceiling potential game. Same thing with Seth Curry, projected in 29 minutes. He's a deadly shooter we all know about. Ben Simmons at $8,400. Joel Embiid at $10,500. All these guys are going to be great GPP options for me, but my favorite GPP value play is going to be Danny Green and also Seth Curry from Philly. Last but not least, let's talk about Sacramento. Rashawn Holmes is going to be my favorite point per dollar value at a 5.8 point per dollar value, but draws a bad matchup. Other than him, another guy that's been outstanding as of late has been Halliburton. Halliburton has hit his price tag in 5 of the past 6 games. Absolutely love him for GPPs. But other than that, all these guys are going to be just GPP options for me. And that will wrap up my video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please do hit that subscription button, notification bell, and of course, smash that like button for all of our future NBA content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.